Hey, this is some guy named Chris, and in this video I want to go over to ChatGPT and see if ChatGPT can create a Power Platform custom connector. We've seen people recently, and I've seen videos of people creating them manually, but I want to see if ChatGPT can create it. So we're going to dive right in and ask if it can create it. I will admit, I've done this a couple times. I've had success and I've had failure. So in this video, I don't know which one we're going to have. Hopefully we have both success and failure. Meaning, if it works perfectly, that's fantastic, but I doubt it will. So let's get started. I'll share up my screen and we will see how successful we are in creating a custom connector for ChatGPT by ChatGPT. So we're going to ask the basic question. Can you create a custom connector for the Power Platform to connect to yourself, ChatGPT? Now, if you're watching this video, I do know about the API. So there are certain things that we want to make sure we're connecting to, for instance, the text-DaVinci-003 at this point. So I'm going to start leading it in a direction, but let's see what the questions are. So initially, it's just giving you high level of the custom connector, but you provide the JSON to create. Can you provide the JSON? If you guys don't know, once you have the JSON, you can, it's Swagger, and you can actually import it. And I'll show you just a minute here. Okay, so now it's providing some guidelines. Okay. Here we go. Here's a sample of a starting point of connection. So what I'm going to do is, now that we're starting to get at least some JSON, so create JSON to text-DaVinci 003. I can ask a question and you can so it's gotten a little bit better. I mean, it gave us some code again. That's a bonus. So let's be a little bit more specific. So what's weird about that is it cannot supply me the actual JSON file. Now, this is where the failure comes into play, because I've done this before and it did supply the JSON file in a fairly accurate response. And it gives me Python. Oh, that's frustrating. So let's try this again. Right? JSON that can be copied into Power Platform. Okay, so actually we're going to just stop this and we're going to open up another one. Let's see what happens then. And then we're going to ask, same question. I don't know why I find this funny, but think about that. We ask it a certain question, we're leading it down the way, and it's saying it can't do it. But opening up a new window, and maybe somebody can explain it down in the comments below. I know it's an AI, I know it's thinking, but it's literally, I'm asking the same, leading it down to the same question. No, but even this, I can tell you, I don't think this will work 100%. Because of this DaVinci Codex. But so let's try this. Now you can see I had another demo open. We're going to create a new custom connector, and I'll show you. So and I had these other demos. I actually recorded another video, but it was way too long. So another shorter one. This is great that at least when I just copied over the swag over here, pasted, and it says, would you like to convert? If you don't get that, then it's not valid. So at least we can, at this point, we're going to just hit create, see what's saying. Okay. So it doesn't like this authorization. It wants the API key. We can get rid of that. A header. That doesn't look too bad. This concerns me. Let's go and edit. So yeah, we have the key body. So what we're going to have to do is lead it a little further. And say the body will include the model, temperature, and any other the reason I know the model temperature and prompt is really, and I'll pull this over, it's in the OpenAI API. So what I'm expecting to see is at least this information. Maybe not all of it. I know in the past I've done really just the 4 model prompt, max token, and temperature. Again, this is a concern there. but I'm willing to just see what happens. And if you guys are good at editing JSON and Swagger and all of that, please by all means go through or just use the UI. But at least this is giving us a good start to the custom connector. And one of the reasons I'm looking at this one is I'm looking to use this custom connector for ChatGPT to build for other third-party products that will eventually connect to. One being ConnectWise, as it's our PSA that we use internally. And I've done custom connectors to it, but I want to see if ChatGPT. That's a good sign. Come over here, security's good. Authorization's gone. The body has model temperature, that's nice. Wow. This might actually work. And as soon as I say that, I'm going to jinx myself, so I'll knock on some melamine, plastic, wood. Don't want swagger. I didn't mean to click swagger, I meant to click test. So we're putting a new connection. It's good that it's asking for that. I've got a key here. Create a connection. Say, what is your name? Temperature 0, model. This is going to be text dash Da Vinci. Now I'm concerned because it might already be in the URL. So refresh that real quick. You didn't provide an API key. Back to one of those things again. So didn't like necessarily doing that. It's because I'm pretty sure it's this. So let's ask. Completions plural. Yeah. Sometimes in what I'd like to do, I know as I'm going through, there have been a couple times where I've had to just recreate a custom connector. Hopefully it's not this case, but it's sometimes just easier. They can be deleted pretty quick, so not a big deal. I've also run into the problem where the JSON that's been returned has hit the max, and you'll notice it hits the max because it will stop in the middle of the code and it'll say regenerate down here. So hopefully that doesn't get hit. So I don't know if it's thinking or what happened. I may have to regenerate that one. And the reason I'd regenerate, notice it just stopped there. It didn't say, I didn't hit the stop generating, and it didn't say regenerate. What I probably could do is just go in here and do this. But again, I don't edit. This very often. So I don't know if in fact that's going to fail. Still didn't provide the API key. Didn't like that. Okay, so there it is. Just as an ease of use, we'll create another one real quick. What number am I? That's a good sign. We'll come over here, put a new connection. Code. Click refresh to get it up there. Let's do this one more time. For some reason, it doesn't have the API key right now. So what's funny about that is I used the same one as earlier. But if you just have the safety API, so it does work. It's close. Custom connector is not going to be perfect. You're going to have to lead it down the direction that you want it to go. But using the API keys or the API information should get you pretty close to where it would need to resolve and pull back data. One of the nice things, I think it's this one here. For instance, this one did work. I was able to get, prompt, what is your name? Again, a couple things need to be checked in there. Operation. doesn't exist. No. What is your name? My name is Luke. So it can work. Again, it's the same exact setup. We've got the API, security key, the definitions. So what I would recommend, guide the ChatGPT questions based on the API. It should be able to spit out the results, and you can do it through Swagger. You may have to make some modifications, but it could get you pretty close. Some guy named Chris, and have a great day.